The sun peeked over the horizon, casting a warm golden glow on the quaint town of Maplewood. At the heart of this sleepy town stood Jack's Diner, a beloved establishment known for its hearty breakfasts and welcoming atmosphere. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air, enticing early risers and passers-by alike. Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today, and if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe. Inside the diner, Jack Thompson, a sturdy white man in his late 30s, moved with practiced ease behind the counter. His friendly smile and quick service had made him a central figure in the community. Today, like every morning, the diner was bustling with regulars and newcomers. "Morning, Jack," called out Mrs. Parker, the elderly lady who always ordered her eggs sunny side up. "Morning, Mrs. Parker." "The usual, coming right up," Jack replied, his voice warm and genuine. At a corner table, Samantha, Sam Lee, Jack's teenage daughter, deftly handled the cash register. Her thoughtful eyes and kind demeanor contrasted with the hectic pace around her. She glanced up as a customer walked in, her smile reassuring. "Hey Sam, how's school going?" asked Tommy, a local farmer, settling into his usual seat. "Pretty good, Tommy. Got a big game this weekend," Sam responded, her excitement palpable. As the morning rush continued, Jack and Sam worked in harmony, serving pancakes, omelets, and endless cups of coffee. The diner's lively chatter was a testament to the strong bonds within Maplewood. Yet, beneath the surface of their close-knit community, tensions simmered that few were willing to acknowledge. After the morning rush had subsided, Jack decided to take a moment for himself. He glanced at his beloved truck, a rugged pickup that had been with him through thick and thin. It was parked outside, gleaming under the sunlight. "Hey, Jack, everything okay?" Sam asked, noticing her father's contemplative expression. "Just thinking about the truck. It's been acting up lately. Last week, it started making that weird noise again," Jack admitted. Running a hand through his hair, Sam walked over, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Maybe it's time to get it checked out properly. You know, Marcus said he's the best mechanic in town." Jack frowned slightly. Marcus Green, a skilled black mechanic, had recently moved to Maplewood. Despite his undeniable talent, Marcus faced an uphill battle against the town's lingering prejudices. "I know, Sam, but not everyone here thinks Marcus is the right person for the job," Jack confessed, a hint of worry in his voice. Sam looked up at her father, her eyes filled with empathy. "People can be stubborn, Dad, but Marcus deserves a chance. And you need your truck fixed." Jack sighed, the weight of his internal conflict evident. "You're right. I'll give it a try. I just hope it doesn't cause too much trouble." With a deep breath, Jack made up his mind. "I'll call Marcus and see if he can help me out." Back at the diner, Jack pulled out his phone and scrolled through his contacts until he found Marcus's number. Taking a deep breath, he dialed. "Hello, this is Jack Thompson from Jack's Diner," he began, trying to keep his voice steady. "I was wondering if you could help me with my truck. It's been having some issues, and I've heard you're the best mechanic around." There was a brief pause before Marcus responded, his tone cautious but polite. "Sure, Jack. I can take a look at it. When would you like me to come by?" "Would tomorrow morning work for you?" Jack asked, hoping to secure a convenient time. "Yeah, that should be fine. I'll be there around 9, Marcus confirmed before hanging up. Jack let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. "Sam, Marcus is going to help me with the truck tomorrow morning." Sam beamed. "That's great, Dad. I'm sure everything will work out." As Jack hung up the phone, a sense of determination settled over him. He knew this decision might not be easy, but it was a step he needed to take. The next morning, the sun was already high in the sky as Marcus pulled up to Jack's truck. His modest home stood nearby, a reflection of his humble beginnings. He stepped out of his truck, tools in hand, and walked towards the diner where Jack was waiting. "Morning, Jack," Marcus greeted, his voice calm and professional. "Morning, Marcus. Thanks for coming so early," Jack replied, extending a hand which Marcus shook firmly. Inside, Elena Martinez, Marcus's supportive wife, greeted them with a warm smile. "Good to see you, Jack. I hope everything's all right." Jack nodded, appreciative of Elena's kindness. We're doing our best. Just trying to get the truck back on the road. Marcus led Jack outside to the truck, inspecting it with practiced eyes. Looks like it's a fuel pump issue. I can fix it, but it might take a couple of hours. That's fine. I appreciate you helping out, Jack said, watching Marcus work with a mix of respect and apprehension. As Marcus delved into the engine, Jack couldn't help but observe his meticulous craftsmanship. There was no denying Marcus's expertise, and Jack began to feel a flicker of doubt about the town's negative whispers. Your work is impressive, Marcus, Jack admitted, his voice sincere. Thank you, Jack. I take pride in what I do, Marcus responded, a hint of gratitude in his eyes. For a moment, the two men shared a silent understanding, bridging the gap that had long kept them apart. Word of Marcus's arrival at Jack's truck spread quickly through Maplewood. Conversations buzzed in the diner, on the streets, and at local shops. Can you believe Jack is using Marcus? I heard he's not reliable, muttered Bill Thompson, a gruff resident, shaking his head as he sipped his coffee. Come on, Bill. Marcus is the best mechanic around. Jack wouldn't trust anyone else, countered Lily Evans, a young teacher who had recently befriended Marcus. In the parking lot, a group of men exchanged wary glances. I heard Marcus was involved in some shady business before moving here, one of them whispered, casting a suspicious eye towards Marcus's garage. Meanwhile, inside the diner, Sam overheard snippets of these conversations. She watched her father handle each remark with grace, though she could see the strain it was putting on him. People can be so narrow-minded sometimes, Sam sighed, reaching out to squeeze Jack's arm. Jack nodded, his eyes distant. I know, Sam. It's not easy trying to do the right thing. As the day progressed, the tension in Maplewood grew palpable. Despite the growing support from some quarters, the undercurrent of prejudice remained strong, threatening to overshadow the budding friendship between Jack and Marcus. By late afternoon, Marcus had made significant progress on Jack's truck. The engine purred to life, a testament to his skill. Looks like we fixed it, Marcus announced, wiping his hands on a rack. Jack stepped closer, his expression one of genuine appreciation. I can't thank you enough, Marcus. I know it wasn't easy. Marcus offered a modest smile. It's what I do, Jack. I'm glad I could help. Sitting down at a nearby table, Jack leaned forward, determination shining in his eyes. Marcus, I want to support you. I know it's been tough here, and I want to do what I can to help your business grow. Marcus looked surprised, touched by the offer. I appreciate that, Jack. It means a lot. I can recommend your garage to my customers and help you get the word out, Jack continued. Maybe even organize some community events to introduce you properly. Marcus considered the proposal, his cautious nature battling with hope. I'd like that. It's been challenging trying to establish myself here, but with your support, it could make a real difference. Jack extended his hand once more. We're in this together, Marcus. Let's make Maplewood a better place for everyone. With a firm handshake, the two men sealed their newfound alliance, setting the foundation for a journey that would test their resolve and transform their community. The following morning, Marcus returned to his garage with a renewed sense of purpose. Thanks to Jack's endorsement, a steady stream of customers began to trickle in, curious to experience his renowned craftsmanship. As Marcus worked on another vehicle, Jack stood by, observing with genuine interest. You know, I had no idea just how talented you are until yesterday. Your work speaks for itself. Marcus looked up, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. Thank you, Jack. It means a lot coming from you. Across the garage, Elena was busy organizing supplies and managing the administrative side of the business. Jack, can you help me with these invoices? They're starting to pile up, she called out. Jack walked over, taking the papers from her. Of course, Elena. Let's get this sorted. As they worked together, the camaraderie between Jack, Marcus, and Elena grew stronger. Each task they tackled side by side chipped away at the invisible barriers that had once kept them apart. Meanwhile, Sam took it upon herself to create flyers and spread the word about Marcus's garage through social media. Her enthusiasm was infectious, and soon, more townsfolk began to take notice. Despite the undercurrent of disapproval from some residents, the small acts of support from others began to create ripples of change. Maplewood was slowly awakening to the possibility of a more inclusive and united community. As the sun set over Maplewood, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Jack sat on his porch, sipping a cup of coffee. The day had been long but fulfilling, marked by progress and the promise of a brighter future. Sam joined him, settling beside him with a contented sigh. "It's been a good day, hasn't it?" Jack nodded, a soft smile on his face. "It has. Marcus's garage is getting the attention it deserves, thanks to you." Sam leaned her head on his shoulder. "I'm proud of you, Dad. Standing up like this takes courage." Jack looked out into the distance, his thoughts reflecting the day's events. "It's not just about courage, Sam. It's about doing what's right. And sometimes that means challenging the status quo." From across the street, Marcus and Elena were seen helping clean up after a small gathering at the garage. The sight filled Jack with a sense of hope. Perhaps, just perhaps, Maplewood was ready for a change. As the evening grew quiet, Jack and Sam sat in comfortable silence, united by their shared mission to bridge the divide and build a community founded on respect and understanding. The following week dawned with a crisp autumn breeze, leaves swirling in vibrant hues of red and gold around the streets of Maplewood. The town was abuzz with anticipation as Mayor Linda Hayes, a fair-minded and respected leader, prepared to address the community at the local town hall. Inside the modest community center, chairs were arranged in neat rows, and a banner reading "Maplewood Community Meeting" adorned the front wall. Residents filled the seats, their conversations a mix of curiosity and apprehension. The atmosphere was thick with unspoken tensions, reflecting the underlying racial divides that had long plagued the town. Mayor Hayes stepped up to the podium, her presence commanding yet approachable. She adjusted the microphone and began, her voice steady and clear. "Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. We have some important matters to discuss, particularly regarding the future of Marcus Green's garage and its role in our community." A murmur rippled through the crowd as residents exchanged glances. Marcus's garage had become a focal point of both support and opposition since his arrival. As you know, Marcus has been an invaluable asset to Maplewood with his exceptional skills and dedication, Mayor Hayes continued. There are proposals to expand his business, which could bring more services and job opportunities to our town. At the mention of expansion, a few nods of approval emerged from the audience. However, not everyone shared the same sentiment. Before Mayor Hayes could delve deeper, Tom Riley, a tall, burly man with a stern demeanor, rose from his seat. His presence was commanding, and a palpable tension filled the room. "Mayor Hayes, with all due respect," Tom began, his voice laced with frustration. "We need to consider the implications of expanding Marcus's garage. We've heard rumors about his past, and I question whether it's the right move for Maplewood." A collective gasp echoed through the hall. Tom's words were a thinly veiled expression of the town's deep-seated prejudices. Some residents shifted uncomfortably in their seats, while others bristled at the accusation. Mayor Hayes maintained her composure, addressing Tom directly. "Tom, I understand your concerns, but Marcus has proven himself through his work and professionalism. If you have specific issues, please share them so we can address them appropriately." Tom's eyes narrowed, and he leaned forward, his voice growing more agitated. "It's not just about work. It's about the kind of influence Marcus might bring into our town. We've always been a close-knit community, and I worry that changes like this could disrupt that balance." The room fell silent, the weight of Tom's words hanging heavily in the air. Mayor Hayes took a deep breath, striving to bridge the growing divide. "Maplewood has always been a place where we support each other and welcome new opportunities. It's natural to have concerns about change, but I believe we can navigate this together, respecting both our traditions and the positive contributions Marcus brings." She paused, allowing her words to sink in. "Let's open the floor to other concerns and suggestions. It's important that we address these issues constructively." As the meeting continued, the room became a battleground of opinions, with supporters of Marcus's garage standing up to defend its place in Maplewood, while others echoed Tom's apprehensions. The evening ended without a clear resolution, leaving the community deeply divided and the path forward uncertain. In the days that followed the town hall meeting, the air in Maplewood grew tense. The debate over Marcus's garage expansion had ignited long-standing prejudices, bringing them to the forefront of everyday interactions. At Jack's diner, the usual hum of conversation was now tinged with unease. Bill Thompson, a longtime resident with a gruff exterior, slammed his coffee cup down on the counter, frustration evident in his eyes. "Can you believe this, Jack? Marcus expanding his business is a mistake," Bill grumbled, glancing around to ensure he wasn't overheard. Lily Evans, a young teacher known for her progressive views, leaned in, her voice calm but firm. "Bill, Marcus has been nothing but professional. Jack vouched for him because he trusts his work. Maybe it's time we give him a fair chance." Bill scoffed, shaking his head. "Fair chance? I don't know, Lily. There are things about his background we don't know. What if he's hiding something?" Jack watched the exchange from behind the counter, a heavy sigh escaping his lips. He had hoped that by supporting Marcus, he could help bridge the community's divide, but instead, it seemed to deepen the rift. Meanwhile, Samantha, Sam, Lee sat at a corner table with her friend Jenny Parker, the daughter of Mrs. Parker. Sam's youthful optimism contrasted sharply with the adults' contentious discussions. "I just don't get why some people can't see Marcus for who he is," Sam said, her frustration palpable. "He's done so much for our town already. It feels like they're letting old prejudices cloud their judgment." Jenny nodded sympathetically. "I agree. It's like they're stuck in the past and refuse to move forward. But I believe change is possible if we all try." Sam smiled, encouraged by her friend's support. "Exactly. We just have to keep pushing for understanding and acceptance." As the day wore on, similar confrontations unfolded across Maplewood. In the local hardware store, a group of men whispered doubts about Marcus's reliability, while Mrs. Parker quietly supported Marcus by ordering supplies from his garage. Jack found himself caught in the middle, trying to mediate between those who supported Marcus and those who opposed him. Each interaction weighed heavily on him, testing his resolve to do what he believed was right. One evening, after a particularly trying day, Jack met with Marcus at his garage. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the workshop filled with the scent of motor oil and the sound of clanging tools. "Marcus, I know things are getting tough around here," Jack began, his voice tinged with concern. "I just want you to know that I'm here for you. We'll get through this together." Marcus looked up from his work, appreciation softening his usually reserved demeanor. "Thank you, Jack. It means a lot to have your support. But it's not just about us. It's about changing the mindset of an entire community." Jack nodded thoughtfully. "I understand. It's going to take time, but I believe we can make a difference, one step at a time." As they stood together amidst the tools and machinery, a sense of camaraderie and determination settled between them. Despite the mounting resistance, their shared commitment to fostering unity provided a glimmer of hope for Maplewood's future. The following morning, Jack's diner was filled with the usual array of customers, but the conversations now bore the mark of last night's heated debate. Jack moved gracefully behind the counter, serving coffee and breakfast with his characteristic warmth, while Sam attended to the customers, her presence a calming influence. At the counter, Bill Thompson and Tom Riley sat with stern expressions, their voices low but intense as they discussed the recent developments. "I still think this expansion is a bad idea," Bill insisted, staring intently at his plate of scrambled eggs. "We need to protect our town's integrity." Tom nodded in agreement, his jaw set. "Exactly. If Marcus can't fit into our community, maybe he shouldn't be here in the first place." Across the room, Lily Evans overheard the conversation and couldn't help but interject. "Bill, Tom, I think you're being unfair. Marcus has proven his worth. Maybe instead of resisting change, we should embrace the opportunities he brings." Bill scoffed, not willing to budge. "Opportunities? At what cost, Lily? We're changing who we are as a community." Lily sighed, her patience wearing thin. "Change is inevitable, Bill. It's how we grow. Marcus is contributing to our town in ways that benefit everyone." Jack, sensing the tension, decided to intervene. He approached their table with a calm demeanor. "Bill, Tom, I understand your concerns, but I can assure you that Marcus is here to help Maplewood thrive. Let's not let fear drive us apart." Bill and Tom exchanged a glance, their resistance undeterred. But Jack's words provided a momentary pause in the brewing conflict. Meanwhile, in a quieter corner of the diner, Mrs. Parker sat alone, sipping her coffee thoughtfully. Her eyes met Jack's as he passed by, offering a small, supportive smile. It was a silent gesture of solidarity that didn't go unnoticed. After the lunch rush, Jack found a moment to speak privately with Sam in the back kitchen. "Sam, how are you holding up with all this?" he asked, leaning against the countertop. Sam shrugged, her expression thoughtful. "It's hard, Dad. I see how much it's affecting you and Marcus. But I believe we're doing the right thing. Change isn't easy, but it's necessary." Jack nodded, pride swelling in his chest at his daughter's unwavering support. "You're right, Sam. It's just challenging to see the community so divided. But your faith gives me strength to keep pushing forward." As the day progressed, the diner remained a microcosm of Maplewood's broader struggles. Supporters and detractors continued to clash, each interaction a reflection of the town's deep-seated prejudices and the slow, painful process of overcoming them. Despite the growing resistance, small signs of support began to emerge. Lily Evans continued to champion Marcus's cause, while Mrs. Parker quietly recommended his services to friends and neighbors. These acts of kindness, though subtle, planted seeds of change that could one day blossom into a more inclusive and united community. Back at his garage, Marcus Green faced the harsh realities of life in Maplewood. The once steady stream of customers had dwindled, and the growing hostility from certain town residents weighed heavily on him and his wife, Elena Martinez. One evening, as Marcus was putting the finishing touches on a repaired engine, Elena approached him, concern etched on her face. "Marcus, you need to take a break," she urged gently. "You've been working nonstop. Maybe we should close up for the night." Marcus shook his head, wiping his hands on a rag. "I can't afford to lose more business, Elena. People are starting to turn away from me. It's not just about the garage anymore." Elena placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I know it's tough, but don't let it get to you. We've faced challenges before, and we've always come out stronger. Maybe it's time to seek some support from the community." Marcus sighed, the weight of his struggles evident in his posture. "I'm trying, but it feels like an uphill battle. Jack has been amazing, and Sam has been a great help, but the resistance is just so strong." Elena squeezed his shoulder reassuringly. "You're not alone in this. Jack is fighting alongside you, and so am I. We'll find a way to make things work, no matter what." Just then, the door to the garage swung open, and Tom Riley walked in, his expression unreadable. Marcus tensed, anticipating confrontation. "Marcus," Tom began, his voice cold but not entirely hostile, "I need to talk to you." Marcus straightened, meeting Tom's gaze. "What is it, Tom?" Tom hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Look, I don't like where this is going. I've seen how you and Jack are trying to change things around here, and it's causing a lot of tension." Marcus remained calm, though his heart pounded in his chest. "I understand that change can be difficult, Tom, but my intention has always been to contribute positively to Maplewood." Tom rubbed the back of his neck, his stance softening slightly. "I get that, but not everyone sees it that way. People are scared of what they don't understand." Marcus nodded thoughtfully. "Fear is natural, but it shouldn't dictate our actions. We can work together to address those fears and build a stronger community." Tom looked conflicted, the lines of tension on his face easing just a fraction. "Maybe. I just hope you know what you're doing, Marcus. Maplewood is all we have." Marcus offered a sincere smile. "I do, Tom, and I want to help this town thrive, for all of us." Tom gave a small nod before turning to leave. "We'll see, Marcus. We'll see." As the door closed behind him, Marcus let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Elena approached him, her eyes filled with concern and pride. "See? Not everyone is against you," she whispered. Marcus managed a weary smile. Maybe there's still hope for us yet. With renewed determination, he turned back to his work, ready to face the challenges ahead with the support of those who believed in him. Later that week, Jack found himself alone in his office at the diner, the midday lull providing a rare moment of solitude. He leaned back in his chair, staring out the window at the bustling street beyond, his mind racing with thoughts and concerns. Despite his outward display of confidence and support for Marcus, Jack couldn't shake the feeling of unease gnawing at him. The town's resistance was growing stronger, and he feared for the future of both his diner and Marcus's garage. As he pondered his predicament, memories from his childhood began to surface, times when he had witnessed or even participated in similar prejudices, unthinking and unquestioned. The realization that some of his own biases might have influenced his decisions weighed heavily on him. A soft knock on the door interrupted his reverie. "Samantha, Sam." Lee entered, her face reflecting a mix of determination and concern. "Hey, Dad," Sam greeted softly, taking a seat across from him. "You seem troubled. Everything okay?" Jack sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'm not sure, Sam. I want to do what's right by Marcus and support him, but the backlash is getting intense. I'm worried about how this is affecting our community and our business." Sam leaned forward, her eyes earnest. "I know it's hard, Dad, but think about why you decided to help Marcus in the first place. It wasn't just about needing a mechanic. It was about doing what's right. People might resist change, but that doesn't mean we should stop trying to make things better." Jack looked into his daughter's eyes, finding solace in her unwavering belief. "You're right, Sam. It's just, sometimes I wonder if I'm making the right choices, if I'm letting my own fears dictate my actions." Sam reached out, placing her hand over his. "We all have fears, Dad, but recognizing them and choosing to act despite them is what matters. Marcus is contributing to our town, and I believe that together, we can help everyone see that too." Jack nodded slowly, feeling a sense of clarity wash over him. "Thank you, Sam. Your perspective always helps me see things more clearly." As Sam left the office, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. He realized that true leadership meant confronting his own biases and standing firm in his commitment to fostering unity. With Sam's support and Marcus's resilience, he was determined to navigate the challenges ahead and strive for a more inclusive Maplewood. Inspired by her conversation with Jack, Sam Lee took it upon herself to become a catalyst for change within Maplewood. Determined to bridge the gap between supporters and detractors, she sought out ways to promote understanding and inclusivity among her peers and the community at large. One afternoon, Sam approached her friend Jenny Parker at the local high school library, where they often met to study and discuss community projects. "Jenny, I've been thinking," Sam began, her enthusiasm evident. "We need to do something to show the town that Marcus and his garage are important to our community. Maybe we could organize a workshop or a meetup where people can share their experiences and get to know each other better." Jenny smiled, nodding in agreement. "That's a great idea, Sam. Maybe something like a community open house at the garage? It could be a way for people to see firsthand what Marcus brings to Maplewood." Sam's eyes lit up. "Exactly. We could have demonstrations of his work, perhaps some Q&A sessions where people can ask questions and learn more about him. It would help break down some of the misconceptions." Determined to make the idea a reality, Sam and Jenny began planning the event. They reached out to other students, teachers, and community members, gathering support and volunteers to assist with the preparations. Meanwhile, back at Jack's diner, Sam shared her plans with her father, who listened with a mixture of pride and concern. "I think it's a wonderful initiative, Sam," Jack said thoughtfully, "but be prepared for some pushback. Not everyone is ready to embrace change." Sam nodded, her resolve unshaken. "I know, Dad, but I believe it's important. We have to give people a chance to see the good Marcus is bringing to our town." With Jack's blessing, Sam continued her efforts, rallying her peers and fostering a sense of community among the younger generation. Her passion was infectious, and soon, a small but dedicated group of volunteers joined her in organizing the event. As the days progressed, word of the upcoming community open house began to spread. While some remained skeptical, others started to show interest, curious about the potential for positive change. Sam's influence was beginning to take root, laying the groundwork for a more united Maplewood. Despite Sam's proactive efforts, the resistance against Marcus's garage continued to escalate, casting a shadow over the town's atmosphere. Business at Marcus's garage had slowed significantly, and the once steady flow of customers had dwindled to a mere trickle. One evening, as Marcus was closing up shop, he noticed the faint sound of shattering glass from the front of the garage. His heart sank as he approached, finding the door ajar and debris scattered across the floor. "What the hell?" Marcus muttered, surveying the damage. Vandalism had become a distressing reality, with graffiti and broken windows serving as blatant messages of hatred and defiance. Elena hurried over, her eyes wide with worry. "Marcus, are you okay? Should we call the police?" Marcus shook his head, frustration and sadness evident in his expression. "It's not the first time, Elena. I'm tired of this. Maybe it's time to consider leaving Maplewood if things don't change." Elena placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I understand how you feel, but we can't give up now. We have to keep fighting for our place here. Remember why we came to Maplewood in the first place." Marcus sighed deeply, running his hands through his hair. "You're right, but it feels like an endless battle. Every day, the hostility grows stronger." Just then, Tom Riley walked by the garage, a stern look on his face. "Thought you could hide from us, Marcus?" he sneered, his eyes filled with contempt. Marcus stood tall, meeting Tom's gaze with unwavering resolve. "This isn't about hiding, Tom. It's about building something better for everyone in Maplewood." Tom laughed bitterly. "Building something better? Or tearing everything down? You're not welcome here, Marcus. Stay out of our way." With that, Tom turned and walked away, leaving Marcus and Elena in a heavy silence. The encounter reinforced the harsh reality of the challenges they faced, testing their resilience and commitment to the community. Determined not to let the mounting adversity deter them, Jack Thompson made a pivotal decision to stand firmly by Marcus's side. One evening, after a long day at the diner, Jack invited Marcus over for a private conversation. They sat together in the cozy back room of the diner, away from the clamor of customers and the lingering tensions outside. "Marcus, I've been thinking a lot about what's been happening," Jack began, his voice sincere. "I know things are getting worse, and I want you to know that I'm fully committed to supporting you and your business." Marcus looked at Jack, a mixture of gratitude and apprehension in his eyes. "I appreciate that, Jack, but it's not just about support. It's about making a real difference, and that requires more than just words." Jack nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "I agree. That's why I'm willing to take more active steps to help. Whether it's promoting your garage, speaking out against the prejudice, or organizing community events, I'm here to do whatever it takes." Marcus felt a surge of hope, his earlier doubts momentarily lifted by Jack's unwavering support. "Together, we can make Maplewood a place where everyone is welcome and respected. It won't be easy, but with your help, I believe we can turn things around." Jack reached across the table, placing his hand firmly on Marcus's shoulder. "We're in this together, Marcus. Let's show the town what true unity and collaboration look like." As they sat in solidarity, a sense of determination settled over them. They knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but their shared commitment to fostering a more inclusive community provided a beacon of hope for Maplewood's future. The crisp morning air of Maplewood carried a sense of anticipation as Marcus Green returned to his garage. The previous days had been tumultuous, filled with both support and opposition, but today felt different. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the workshop filled with the familiar scent of motor oil and the rhythmic sounds of tools clinking against metal. Inside the garage, Jack Thompson stood near a workbench, observing Marcus with a newfound respect. The repair of Jack's truck had not only demonstrated Marcus's exceptional skill, but had also begun to shift Jack's perspective in subtle yet profound ways. "Good morning, Marcus," Jack greeted, a genuine smile on his face. "Ready to tackle another day?" Marcus nodded, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "Absolutely. Let's see what today brings." As they delved into the day's tasks, their interactions became more fluid and collaborative. Jack began to understand the intricacies of automobile repairs, while Marcus appreciated Jack's willingness to learn and assist. This mutual respect laid the foundation for a deeper friendship, one that transcended the initial barriers of race and prejudice. During a brief lull in the day, Jack and Marcus found themselves sitting on stools beside a cluttered workbench, sipping cold beers and sharing stories. "You know, Marcus," Jack began thoughtfully, "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about how I grew up and the things I took for granted." Marcus looked up, intrigued. "What brought this on?" Jack sighed, staring into his beer. "I realized that some of the biases I held weren't even mine. They were inherited from the community, the people I looked up to. It's been a wake-up call, seeing how unfairly Marcus has been treated here." Marcus nodded slowly. "It takes a lot to confront those kinds of realizations. I've been dealing with my own set of challenges, but conversations like this help." The two men shared a moment of silent understanding, recognizing the personal growth each was undergoing. It was in these quiet exchanges that the seeds of trust and friendship truly took root. Encouraged by his growing respect for Marcus, Jack decided to take a more active role in promoting the mechanic's garage. During a busy afternoon at the diner, Jack stood up to address his customers. "Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to Marcus Gree. He's been doing an outstanding job fixing my truck, and I highly recommend his services. If you need any repairs, you know where to find him." The diner's patrons reacted with a mix of nods and murmurs. While some were supportive, others remained skeptical, their prejudices still evident in their hesitant glances. After the announcement, Lily Evans, the young teacher, approached Jack with a warm smile. "That was a great move, Jack. It shows your commitment to supporting Marcus and the community." Jack returned the smile, feeling a sense of pride. "Thanks, Lily. It's the least I can do. Marcus deserves the chance to prove himself." Inspired by her father's endorsement, Sam Lee decided to take her support a step further. She approached Jenny Parker, her friend from the high school, with an enthusiastic proposal. "Jenny, I've been thinking about how we can help Marcus more effectively. What if we organize a social media campaign to highlight his work and share positive stories about his impact on Maplewood?" Jenny's eyes lit up. "That's a fantastic idea, Sam. We can create posts showcasing before and after photos of repairs, share testimonials from satisfied customers, and even host a live Q&A session with Marcus." Together, they brainstormed content ideas, leveraging their tech-savvy skills to craft engaging posts. Sam's initiative quickly gained traction among the younger residents, sparking interest and curiosity about Marcus's garage. As the weeks progressed, the combined efforts of Jack and Sam began to yield positive results. Marcus's garage saw a steady increase in customers, many of whom were initially hesitant but left impressed by his expertise and professionalism. One afternoon, Mr. Collins, a respected elder in Maplewood, walked into the garage with his aged sedan. Marcus greeted him warmly, swiftly diagnosing and fixing the issue with practiced ease. After the repair, Mr. Collins approached Jack, who was helping out with some administrative tasks. "Jack, I have to say, I'm impressed with Marcus's work. It's high time we recognize the value he brings to our town." Jack nodded appreciatively. "I couldn't agree more, Mr. Collins. Marcus has been a great asset." Word of mouth began to shift, with more residents willing to give Marcus's services a try. These small victories served as a beacon of hope, indicating that change was possible, even in the face of deep-seated prejudices. Encouraged by the growing support, Jack and Marcus decided to attend a local community event at the Maplewood Park. The park was bustling with families, children playing, and vendors selling various goods. It was the perfect setting for informal interactions and relationship building. As they mingled with the townsfolk, Marcus showcased some of his repair work, allowing curious residents to see firsthand the quality of his craftsmanship. Jack stood by his side, proudly introducing Marcus to anyone who showed interest. "See this engine? Marcus fixed it in no time. If you need any repairs, Marcus is your man," Jack would say, beaming with pride. Slowly but surely, the ice began to break. Conversations flowed more smoothly, and genuine connections started to form. The barriers that once seemed insurmountable were now showing signs of being dismantled, one interaction at a time. Despite the positive momentum, not everyone in Maplewood was ready to embrace change. Tom Riley, the vocal antagonist, grew increasingly agitated by the shifting dynamics. His resentment towards Marcus's presence was now openly challenging the efforts of Jack and Sam. One evening, Tom approached Jack at the diner, his face contorted with anger. "Jack, what are you doing? Supporting Marcus like this is tearing our town apart. We need to stand up for our community, not let outsiders take over." Jack met Tom's gaze steadily, refusing to back down. "Tom, Marcus is contributing positively to Maplewood. This isn't about outsiders taking over. It's about welcoming someone who can help our town thrive." Tom scoffed, clearly unconvinced. "You're blinded by your own bias, Jack. It's not right to let him dictate how things should be here." Before Jack could respond, Lily Evans stepped in, her voice calm yet firm. "Tom, Marcus has proven his worth. Instead of focusing on unfounded biases, let's support the growth of our community together." Tom glared at both men but said nothing more, turning away with a heavy heart. The confrontation left a lingering tension, a stark reminder that the path to unity was fraught with challenges. Amidst the ongoing resistance, the bond between Jack and Marcus grew stronger. Their partnership extended beyond professional collaboration, evolving into a genuine friendship built on mutual respect and shared goals. One afternoon, after a long day at the garage, Jack invited Marcus over for dinner at his home. The meal was simple but hearty, a reflection of Jack's dedication to fostering a sense of family and community. As they sat around the dinner table, Elena Martinez joined them, adding her own warmth to the gathering. The conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on everything from personal dreams to hopes for Maplewood's future. "You know, Jack," Marcus mused, "I never expected to find such support here. It's been tough, but moments like these make it all worthwhile." Jack nodded thoughtfully. "It's not always easy, but having allies like you makes all the difference. We're in this together." Elena smiled, her presence a comforting reminder of the strength found in unity. "Together, we can overcome any obstacle. Maplewood deserves a chance to shine, and we're doing our part to make that happen." As the evening wore on, the three of them sat in comfortable silence, the unspoken promise of continued collaboration and friendship hanging in the air. It was a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief that even the deepest divides could be bridged with effort and understanding. The once vibrant hum of Marcus's garage had dimmed under the weight of escalating tensions. The air was thick with frustration and fear as Marcus Green and Elena Martinez worked tirelessly to keep their business afloat amidst growing hostility from certain town residents. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across Maplewood, Marcus was putting the finishing touches on a repaired engine. The familiar sounds of clanging tools and the scent of motor oil filled the garage. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the front of the building. Marcus's heart raced as he rushed outside, only to find the front door shattered and debris scattered across the floor. The once pristine garage was now marred by vandalism. Graffiti sprayed across the walls, and tools strewn about in disarray. "Elena, what happened?" Marcus asked, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and despair. Elena hurried over, her eyes wide with concern. "It looks like someone broke in and vandalized the place. This isn't the first time, but it feels worse this time." Marcus knelt down, surveying the damage. "They're trying to send a message. Maybe it's time to consider leaving town." Elena placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "We can't give up now, Marcus. We've come too far. We need to stay strong and fight back." As they began cleaning up the mess, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling of hopelessness creeping in. The vandalism was a stark reminder of the deep-seated prejudices that still plagued Maplewood, threatening to undo all the progress they had made. The next morning, the sun shone brightly over Maplewood, but the atmosphere was anything but cheerful. The news of the garage vandalism had spread like wildfire, stirring a mix of fear, anger, and determination within the community. At the local bar, a popular gathering spot for many residents, Tom Riley sat with a group of like-minded individuals, his expression darkened by recent events. I told you this was going to happen, Tom growled, slamming his fist on the table. Supporting Marcus is tearing our town apart. We need to stand up against this influence before it's too late. One of the men nodded in agreement. Yeah, we need to show them they can't mess with us. It's time to take action. Tom's eyes narrowed as he looked around the room. We need to organize something. Show them that we won't tolerate this kind of behavior any longer. Meanwhile, Jack Thompson stood outside the diner, deep in thought. The vandalism at Marcus's garage had shaken him, but he refused to let fear dictate his actions. Determined to protect his friend and uphold his commitment to unity, Jack decided to confront Tom directly. Finding Tom in the parking lot, Jack approached him with a calm yet firm demeanor. "Tom, we need to talk." Tom looked up, his expression hardening. "Jack, what do you want? Another lecture about unity and acceptance?" Jack took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "No, Tom. I want to understand why you're so against Marcus. He's been nothing but professional and dedicated to helping our town." Tom scoffed, crossing his arms over his chest. "Professional? He's a stranger here, disrupting our way of life. We need to protect our community from outsiders like him." Jack shook his head, refusing to back down. "Marcus is helping Maplewood grow. His skills have benefited many of us, including myself. If you have genuine concerns, let's address them constructively instead of resorting to vandalism and intimidation." Tom's eyes flashed with frustration. "You're blinded by your own biases, Jack. Sometimes, you have to make tough choices for the greater good." Before Jack could respond, Lily Evans stepped forward, her voice steady. "Tom, Marcus has earned our respect through his work. Let's not let unfounded fears ruin what we've built together." Tom glared at Lily, then back at Jack. "You're all fools if you think Marcus is going to change our town's dynamics for the better. We need to take a stand." With that, Tom turned and walked away, leaving Jack and Lily standing in the parking lot, the weight of the confrontation heavy on their shoulders. Determined to counteract the growing opposition, Jack Thompson knew he had to rally more support within the community. He convened a private meeting at his diner, inviting Lily Evans, Sam Lee, and a few trusted allies who believed in fostering unity. As the evening settled in, the diner's usual clamor gave way to a hushed conversation among the group. "We can't let Tom and his followers intimidate us," Jack began, his voice resolute. "Marcus is an asset to Maplewood, and we need to stand up for what's right." Lily nodded, her expression thoughtful. "I agree. We need a plan to show the community the positive impact Marcus is having. Maybe organize more events that bring people together and highlight his contributions." Sam leaned forward, her eyes shining with determination. "I can handle the social media campaign. We can create content that showcases Marcus's work and shares stories from satisfied customers. It's time to shift the narrative." Another ally, Mr. Collins, a respected elder in town, added, "We also need to engage with the local businesses and encourage them to support Marcus. A united front will make it clear that Maplewood stands together." Jack felt a surge of hope as the group began to brainstorm ideas. Together, they devised a multifaceted approach to counter the negativity. Organizing community workshops, posting open houses at Marcus's garage, and leveraging social media to amplify positive stories. As the meeting concluded, Jack looked around the table, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "We have a lot of work ahead of us, but I believe we can make a difference. Let's stay committed and support each other through this." The group dispersed with a shared determination, ready to take on the challenges that lay ahead. The path to unity was fraught with obstacles, but with collective effort and unwavering resolve, they were prepared to bridge the divide and foster a more inclusive Maplewood. Back at his garage, Marcus Green found himself grappling with doubts and fears. The recent acts of vandalism and the ongoing hostility were taking a toll on his spirit. One evening, as he sat alone in the cluttered workshop, his thoughts spiraled into a vortex of uncertainty. Elena entered the garage, noticing Marcus's troubled expression. She approached him quietly, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Marcus, what's on your mind?" Marcus looked up, his eyes weary. "Elena, I don't know if I can keep doing this. The hate, the threats, It's all becoming too much. Maybe it's time to leave Maplewood and find a place where I'm welcomed." Elena shook her head, her eyes filled with determination. "You're stronger than you think, Marcus. Look how far you've come. You've already made a difference here, and we can't give up now." Marcus sighed, the weight of his decision pressing down on him. "I want to believe that we can change things, but sometimes it feels like we're fighting a losing battle." Elena pulled him into a gentle embrace. "Change takes time, and it's not easy. But with allies like Jack and Sam, and the support of those who understand, we can keep pushing forward. We have to stay hopeful." Just then, Tom Riley walked by the garage, his expression a mix of irritation and contemplation. Marcus straightened, meeting Tom's gaze with a steady resolve. "Marcus," Tom began, his voice softer than usual, "I saw what you did yesterday, fixing that old truck for Mr. Thompson. It was impressive." Marcus nodded, cautiously optimistic. "Thank you, Tom. I'm glad to hear that. I just want to help Maplewood thrive." Tom glanced around, as if weighing his words carefully. "Look, I don't agree with everything you stand for, but I can't deny your skills. Maybe there's a way we can coexist without all this tension." Marcus felt a flicker of hope at Tom's unexpected concession. "I'd like that, Tom. We all want what's best for Maplewood. Maybe we can find common ground." Tom hesitated for a moment before offering a reluctant smile. "Maybe we can. Let's give it a try." As Tom walked away, Marcus felt a renewed sense of possibility. Perhaps, with continued effort and open dialogue, even the most stubborn prejudices could begin to fade. Encouraged by the small victory, he turned to Elena with a determined look in his eyes. "We can do this, Elena. We have to keep believing in the good that's possible." Elena nodded, her faith unwavering. "Together, we can make a difference." Despite the outward signs of progress, Jack Thompson couldn't shake the internal conflict gnawing at him. The recent confrontation with Tom had left him questioning whether his efforts to support Marcus were truly making a difference, or merely deepening the town's divisions. One quiet evening, after closing the diner, Jack sat alone in his office, the flickering light from a single lamp casting long shadows across the room. He stared blankly at the framed photos of Maplewood's past, a testament to the town's history and his own memories within it. As he pondered his predicament, Sam Lee entered the office, sensing her father's unease. She sat down beside him, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Dad, you've been really stressed lately. What's bothering you?" Sam asked gently. Jack sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's just, I want to do the right thing by Marcus, but the resistance is overwhelming. I'm starting to wonder if we can really change things here." Sam leaned forward, her eyes filled with empathy. "I know it's hard, Dad, but remember why you decided to help Marcus in the first place. It wasn't just about needing a mechanic. It was about doing what's right. People might resist change, but that doesn't mean we should stop trying to make things better." Jack looked into his daughter's eyes, finding solace in her unwavering support. "You're right, Sam. It's just frustrating seeing how hard it's been. Sometimes I feel like we're not making any progress." Sam smiled softly. "Change takes time, and it's not always visible right away. But every small step we take is bringing us closer to a more united community. And you're not alone in this. We're all in it together." Jack felt a surge of gratitude towards his daughter. "Thank you, Sam. Your perspective always helps me see things more clearly." Sam squeezed his shoulder reassuringly. "We have to keep believing that Maplewood can change. And as long as we stand by Marcus and each other, I know we can make a difference." Jack nodded slowly, a renewed sense of determination settling over him. "You're right. We have to keep pushing forward, no matter how tough it gets." As Sam left the office, Jack felt a sense of clarity wash over him. He realized that true leadership meant not only standing up against prejudice, but also inspiring others to join the cause. With his daughter's encouragement and the support of allies like Lily and Mr. Collins, he was more determined than ever to bridge the divide and foster a more inclusive Maplewood. Inspired by her father's words, Sam Lee took her role in fostering change even more seriously. Determined to amplify her efforts, She sought out additional ways to support Marcus and promote unity within Maplewood. One afternoon, Sam approached Jenny Parker at the high school library, where they often met to discuss community projects. "Jenny, I've been thinking about how we can make a bigger impact with our social media campaign," Sam began, her enthusiasm evident. "What if we highlight not just Marcus's work, but also the stories of other minority residents who contribute to our town? It could help people see the diversity that makes Maplewood strong." Jenny's eyes lit up with excitement. "That's a fantastic idea, Sam. We can create a series of profiles and short videos that showcase the positive impact everyone has here. It would help break down stereotypes and highlight our shared values." Together, they began reaching out to various community members, gathering stories and testimonials. Mr. Collins, the respected elder, shared his experiences of how Maplewood had evolved over the years, emphasizing the importance of embracing change while preserving core values. As the content for the campaign began to take shape, Sam and Jenny coordinated with Lily Evans and other supportive students to create visually engaging posts and videos. They scheduled regular updates, ensuring a steady flow of positive narratives that countered the prevailing negativity. Meanwhile, Jack continued to advocate for Marcus, both in the diner and at local events. His consistent support, combined with Sam's proactive initiatives, started to shift public perception. More residents began to see the value Marcus brought to Maplewood, and the tide of opinion slowly turned in their favor. One evening, as Sam and Jenny were editing a video in the high school's media room, they received a message of encouragement from a local business owner who had recently used Marcus's services. "Your campaign is really making a difference," the message read. "Thanks to you, I've recommended Marcus to all my customers. Keep up the great work." Sam smiled, her determination stronger than ever. "This is just the beginning, Jenny. We're showing people that Maplewood is a community built on respect and collaboration." Jenny nodded in agreement. "And with every story we share, we're breaking down barriers and building bridges. Let's keep pushing forward." As the two friends continued their work, the positive momentum they were generating began to resonate throughout Maplewood. The community was slowly awakening to the possibility of a more inclusive and united future, one story at a time. The collaborative efforts of Jack, Sam, and their allies began to bear fruit as Marcus's garage saw a steady increase in customers. Many were initially hesitant, but after experiencing Marcus's exceptional service, they left with newfound respect and appreciation. One sunny afternoon, Mr. Collins arrived at the garage with his classic sedan, a beloved family heirloom that required special attention. "Marcus, it's good to see you again," Mr. Collins greeted warmly, his tone sincere. Marcus smiled, feeling a sense of validation. "Good to see you too, Mr. Collins. What can I do for you today?" Mr. Collins explained the issue with his sedan, and Marcus quickly diagnosed and repaired the problem with precision. As he worked, he engaged in friendly conversation with Mr. Collins, discussing the history of the car and the importance of maintaining its legacy. Once the repair was complete, Mr. Collins inspected the work thoroughly before nodding in approval. "You've done an excellent job, Marcus. It's reassuring to know that someone with your skills is here to take care of these treasures." Marcus felt a surge of pride and gratitude. "Thank you, Mr. Collins. It means a lot coming from you." Mr. Collins turned to Jack, who was assisting with some paperwork. "Jack, I wanted to personally thank you for supporting Marcus. It's people like you who make Maplewood a great place to live." Jack smiled, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. "It's my pleasure, Mr. Collins. Marcus deserves every bit of support he's getting." Word of Marcus's outstanding work continued to spread, attracting even more customers. Positive testimonials flooded in, both online and in person, counteracting the earlier negativity. The once skeptical residents began to see Marcus not as an outsider, but as an integral part of their community. One evening, as the sun set over Maplewood, Lily Evans stopped by the garage with a group of students from her school. They were there to learn about automotive repairs, eager to see Marcus in action. "Thank you for letting us visit, Marcus," Lily said, beaming with excitement. "Our students are really interested in learning more about how things work." Marcus nodded, welcoming the young minds with open arms. "It's my pleasure, Lily. Teaching the next generation is important. Let's get started. As Marcus patiently explained the intricacies of the engine to the attentive students, he felt a deep sense of purpose. These small wins, genuine connections, satisfied customers, and inspired youth were the building blocks of a stronger, more united Maplewood. Encouraged by the growing support, Jack Thompson and Marcus Green decided to attend a local community event at Maplewood Park. The park was a central gathering spot, often hosting festivals, fairs, and public meetings. Today, it was adorned with colorful banners and bustling with families, children playing, and vendors selling various goods. As they arrived, Jack introduced Marcus to a group of curious residents who had gathered near the food stalls. "Everyone, this is Marcus Green. He's been doing some fantastic work around town. If you need any repairs, Marcus is your guy." The few people nodded appreciatively, while others approached with genuine interest. Mrs. Parker, the elderly lady, approached Marcus with a warm smile. "Marcus, your work has been exceptional. I just wanted to thank you personally for everything you've done for our town." Marcus returned her smile gratefully. "Thank you, Mrs. Parker. It's an honor to be part of this community." Meanwhile, Lily Evans engaged a group of students, encouraging them to ask questions and learn more about automotive repairs. "Marcus is not just a mechanic. He's also a mentor to many of us. We're lucky to have him here." As the day progressed, Jack and Marcus took the time to interact with as many residents as possible, addressing their questions and concerns. The positive interactions began to dismantle the barriers that once seemed insurmountable, fostering a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. One particularly touching moment occurred when Tom Riley approached Marcus with a hesitant expression. The air between them was thick with unspoken tension. "Marcus," Tom began, his voice wavering slightly, "I came here to see for myself what you've been doing. I have to admit, I was wrong about some things." Marcus looked at Tom, sensing the sincerity in his tone. "Thank you for coming, Tom. I appreciate you giving me a chance to show my true intentions." Tom nodded slowly, a hint of a smile breaking through his stern exterior. "Maybe we can start fresh. Maplewood deserves to thrive, and I want to see that happen." Marcus extended his hand, a gesture of goodwill. "I'd like that, Tom. Let's work together for the betterment of our community." Tom shook Marcus's hand firmly, the beginning of a newfound understanding between them. As they stood together amidst the bustling park, it was a powerful symbol of the town's potential for unity and growth. As autumn leaves danced in the cool breeze outside, Jack Thompson found himself alone in his office at Jack's Diner. The soft hum of the closing evening served as a backdrop to his restless thoughts. The recent confrontations and escalating tensions in Maplewood weighed heavily on him. He leaned back in his chair, staring blankly at the framed photos of his family and the town's history that adorned the walls. Memories of his childhood began to surface, times when he had unknowingly mirrored the very prejudices he now sought to overcome. The realization that some of his own biases had influenced his actions brought a pang of guilt. Jack knew that genuine change required more than just supporting Marcus. It demanded introspection and a willingness to confront his own flaws. A gentle knock echoed through the quiet diner. Samantha, Sam, Lee, Jack's teenage daughter, entered, her face a mix of concern and determination. "Dad," Sam began softly, taking a seat across from him. "You seem really stressed. Is everything okay?" Jack sighed, rubbing his temples. "I'm just trying to make sense of everything, Sam. I want to support Marcus and help our community, but the resistance is stronger than I expected. Sometimes I wonder if we can really change things here." Sam reached out, placing her hand over his. "Change is hard, Dad, but it's not impossible. You've already taken the first step by supporting Marcus. We just need to keep pushing forward, even when it feels tough." Jack looked into his daughter's earnest eyes, finding solace in her unwavering support. "You're right. It's just frustrating to see how deeply ingrained these prejudices are. But I can't let that stop me from doing what's right." With renewed determination, Jack realized that true leadership meant not only standing up against prejudice, but also inspiring others to join the cause. He knew that to create lasting change, He needed to seek guidance and support from those who could help him navigate the challenges ahead. The next morning, Jack made his way to the office of Mayor Linda Hayes, the town's progressive and fair-minded leader. Mayor Hayes had always been a beacon of hope in Maplewood, advocating for unity and progress. "Mayor Hayes," Jack greeted, stepping into her neatly organized office. "Do you have a moment to talk?" "Of course, Jack," Mayor Hayes replied warmly, gesturing for him to sit. "What can I do for you?" Jack took a deep breath, his nerves steadying. "I wanted to discuss how we can further support Marcus and his garage. Despite our efforts, the resistance is only growing stronger. I feel like we're reaching a tipping point." Mayor Hayes nodded thoughtfully. "Change can be challenging, especially when it threatens the status quo. But I believe in the work you're doing. Have you considered expanding community outreach efforts? Maybe hosting more events that foster dialogue and understanding?" Jack leaned forward, his interest piqued. "I have some ideas, but I could use your guidance and any resources the town can provide." "Absolutely," Mayor Hayes said with a reassuring smile. "We can organize workshops, town hall discussions, and even collaborate with local schools to promote inclusivity. Let me connect you with some community leaders who can help spearhead these initiatives." Jack felt a surge of hope. "Thank you, Mayor Hayes. Your support means a lot." "As always," she replied, placing a hand on his shoulder. "We're in this together, Jack. Let's make Maplewood a place where everyone feels welcome and valued." With renewed vigor, Jack convened a meeting at the Maplewood Library, inviting Sam, Lily Evans, Mr. Collins, and other supportive residents. The room buzzed with anticipation as the group settled around a large table strewn with notebooks and laptops. "We need a comprehensive plan," Jack began, standing at the front of the room. "Mayor Hayes has offered us resources to help support Marcus and promote inclusivity. Here are some of the ideas we've brainstormed." He outlined various initiatives, including community workshops on diversity, open house events at Marcus's garage, and partnerships with local schools to educate the youth about the importance of inclusivity. Sam took the lead on organizing a series of social media campaigns, while Lily and Mr. Collins volunteered to coordinate community outreach efforts. "As we implement these initiatives, we need to ensure that everyone feels heard and respected," Jack emphasized. "It's not just about supporting Marcus. It's about creating a community that values every individual, regardless of their background." The group nodded in agreement, their commitment unwavering. Together, they set out to transform their town, one step at a time. Understanding the pivotal role of the younger generation in driving change, Sam Lee spearheaded an initiative to engage Maplewood's youth. She approached the high school principal, Mrs. Thompson, proposing a series of workshops focused on diversity and inclusion. "Mrs. Thompson, I believe our students can play a crucial role in promoting unity in Maplewood," Sam explained during their meeting. "If we can educate them about the importance of diversity, they'll carry those values into the future." Mrs. Thompson nodded thoughtfully. "I agree, Sam. Let's start by organizing a workshop series with guest speakers, including Marcus, who can share his experiences and insights." With Mrs. Thompson's support, Sam enlisted the help of her friend Jenny Parker to help organize the events. Together, they invited local leaders, educators, and community members to participate, creating a platform for open dialogue and mutual understanding. At the first workshop, Marcus took the stage, sharing his journey and the challenges he faced moving to Maplewood. The students listened intently, their perspectives shifting as they began to understand the importance of empathy and acceptance. "Seeing Marcus here today has opened my eyes," one student admitted, his voice filled with newfound respect. "I never realized how much we can learn from each other's experiences." Sam smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "This is just the beginning. If we can educate the youth, we can create a ripple effect that transforms our entire community." As the community outreach initiatives gained momentum, the resistance from certain town residents persisted. The recent vandalism had left Marcus feeling exhausted and questioning whether their efforts were truly making a difference. One evening, as Marcus sat alone in the garage, contemplating his future in Maplewood, Elena Martinez joined him, her presence a source of comfort and strength. "Marcus, you've done so much for this town," Elena said softly, sitting beside him. "Don't let the negativity get to you. We're here for you. And so is Jack. Marcus sighed, rubbing his temples. Sometimes it feels like we're fighting a losing battle. The hatred is relentless, and I'm not sure how much more I can take. Elena took his hand, offering a reassuring squeeze. Remember the progress we've made, the people who support us. Every step forward is a victory, no matter how small. We can't give up now. Just then, Tom Riley walked into the garage, his expression less hostile than before. "Marcus, I need to talk to you," he said hesitantly. Marcus looked up, surprised by Tom's approach. "Sure, Tom. What's on your mind?" Tom took a deep breath, his eyes meeting Marcus's with a hint of remorse. "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. Seeing how you've handled everything, I realize I was wrong about you. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused." Marcus nodded, a sense of relief washing over him. "Thank you, Tom. It means a lot to hear that. Maybe we can find a way to work together for the good of Maplewood." Tom offered a tentative smile. "I'd like that. Let's start fresh." With that, the two men stood together, a symbol of the potential for reconciliation and unity within the community. Emboldened by Tom's unexpected change of heart, Jack decided it was time to reach out to other opponents of Marcus's garage. He knew that fostering dialogue and understanding was key to breaking down the barriers that divided Maplewood. Jack arranged a meeting with several dissenting residents at a neutral location, the town park. The atmosphere was tense as the participants gathered, some wary and others hopeful. "Thank you all for coming," Jack began, addressing the group with sincerity. "We're here to talk about how we can move forward together, respecting each other's differences and finding common ground." One of the opponents, Bill Thompson, voiced his skepticism. "I still don't understand why Marcus needs to be here. What makes him so special?" Jack took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "Marcus is an exceptional mechanic who has already helped many of us, including myself. He's here to contribute to our community, not to disrupt it. By supporting his business, we can enhance our town's services and economy." Another resident, Sarah Miller, added, "I think it's important to hear Marcus's side of the story. Maybe that would help us understand him better." With Jack's encouragement, Marcus stepped forward, sharing his experiences and motivations for moving to Maplewood. His heartfelt testimony resonated with many, gradually softening some of the resistance in the room. By the end of the meeting, a few skeptical residents began to see Marcus in a new light, acknowledging the positive impact he was having on the community. While not everyone was convinced, the seeds of change have been planted, offering hope for a more inclusive future. The collaborative efforts of Jack, Sam, and their allies began to gain significant traction within Maplewood. The community outreach initiatives were bearing fruit, with increasing numbers of residents embracing the values of diversity and unity. Marcus's garage was now bustling with customers, many of whom had been initially hesitant but had left impressed by Marcus's exceptional service and professionalism. Positive reviews and word-of-mouth recommendations were helping to counteract the earlier negativity. One afternoon, Jack received a call from Mayor Hayes, inviting him to a town hall meeting to discuss further support for Marcus's garage and the ongoing community initiatives. "I'm thrilled to see the progress you've made," Mayor Hayes said over the phone. "Let's discuss how we can continue to support Marcus and ensure that our community remains united." At the meeting, Mayor Hayes commended the efforts of Jack, Sam, and the others, outlining new funding opportunities and resources to further support the integration of diverse businesses into Maplewood. The room was filled with a renewed sense of purpose, as residents recognized the tangible benefits of embracing inclusivity. Meanwhile, Sam Lee continued to lead the social media campaigns, her creative content reaching a wider audience and garnering more support. Her efforts were complemented by Lily Evans, who organized community events that fostered interaction and understanding among residents of all backgrounds. As momentum built, the sense of unity within Maplewood grew stronger. The town was beginning to see the value of diversity, not just as a moral imperative, but as a catalyst for growth and prosperity. With the community outreach initiatives on the verge of achieving a significant breakthrough, Jack, Marcus, and their team began making final preparations for a grand community event that would celebrate the unity and diversity of Maplewood. The event was scheduled to take place at the town park, transformed into a vibrant gathering space with booths, stages, and activities designed to showcase the talents and contributions of all community members. Jack oversaw the logistical aspects, ensuring that everything was in place, while Sam and Jenny coordinated the promotional efforts. Mr. Collins and Lily Evans worked alongside Marcus and Elena to set up booths that highlighted different businesses and cultural groups within the town. On the day of the event, the park was alive with excitement and anticipation. Residents of all ages and backgrounds filled the space, eager to participate in the festivities. The air was filled with the sounds of music, laughter, and the mingling of diverse conversations. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Maplewood Park, the team gathered to take a moment and reflect on their journey. Despite the challenges and setbacks, their collective efforts had brought them to this pivotal moment, a testament to the power of resilience, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to fostering unity. As the event kicked off with a heartfelt speech from Jack, the community came together to celebrate their shared achievements and the promising future that lay ahead. It was a turning point for Maplewood, marking the beginning of a new era of inclusivity and mutual respect. The crisp autumn air of Maplewood Park buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Vibrant banners fluttered in the gentle breeze, proclaiming Maplewood Unity Festival in bold, colorful letters. Stalls adorned with lights and decorations lined the pathways, each representing different aspects of the community's diverse culture and talents. Jack Thompson, Marcus Green, Sam Lee, Lily Evans, and their dedicated team of volunteers worked tirelessly to ensure every detail was perfect. The once skeptical townsfolk now joined in the preparations, their initial reservations giving way to a shared sense of purpose. "Sam, the flyers are up on every bulletin board in town," Jack called out, handing her a clipboard filled with schedules and tasks. "We're almost ready, just a few more booths to set up." Sam smiled, her eyes gleaming with pride. "Everything's looking great, Jack. I can't believe how much support we've garnered." Marcus moved gracefully between the stalls, coordinating with local artisans and performers. "This is exactly what we needed," he remarked, adjusting the lights on a booth showcasing handcrafted goods. "It's wonderful to see everyone coming together." Elena Martinez oversaw the refreshments area, ensuring that everyone had access to delicious food and beverages. Her presence added a layer of warmth and hospitality to the event, making attendees feel welcomed and appreciated. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the park, the final touches were added. Mr. Collins approached Jack with a satisfied nod. "You've done an incredible job organizing this, Jack. It's heartening to see our community united like this." Jack returned the nod, his heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you, Mr. Collins. It's all thanks to everyone's hard work and dedication." With the park transformed into a vibrant hub of activity, Mayor Linda Hayes stepped up to the makeshift stage, her presence commanding yet approachable. The crowd quieted, their eyes fixed on her as she began to speak. "Good evening, everyone," Mayor Hayes greeted warmly. "Welcome to the Maplewood Unity Festival. Tonight, we celebrate the diversity and strength of our community. This event is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together with open hearts and minds." A round of applause filled the air, mingling with the sounds of laughter and conversation. Mayor Hayes continued, her voice steady and inspiring. "We've faced challenges, but tonight is about looking forward. It's about embracing our differences and recognizing the value each of us brings to Maplewood. Let's enjoy the festivities, connect with one another, and build lasting relationships that transcend our past divisions." As she concluded her speech, Mayor Hayes stepped down, and the festival officially began. The crowd erupted in cheers, the atmosphere electric with optimism and unity. One of the evening's highlights was the Stories of Maplewood segment, where community members shared their personal experiences and journeys. Marcus Green took the stage, his presence commanding the attention of all who watched. "Thank you, Mayor Hayes," Marcus began, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "When I first arrived in Maplewood, I was met with skepticism and hostility. It wasn't easy trying to establish myself in a place that wasn't welcoming. But with the support of people like Jack, Sam, and so many others, I found the strength to persevere." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. This town has so much potential, and I believe we can achieve great things together. It's not just about me or my garage. It's about all of us coming together to build a better future for Maplewood. The crowd listened intently, many nodding in agreement, others wiping away tears of empathy. Marcus's heartfelt testimony resonated deeply, bridging gaps that had once seemed insurmountable. Next, Sam Lee took the stage, sharing her perspective as a young advocate for change. I've always believed in the power of unity and understanding. Watching my father support Marcus has taught me that true leadership means standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. I hope that tonight inspires others to embrace diversity and work together for the common good. Her words were met with a heartfelt applause, the younger generation feeling empowered to continue the legacy of inclusivity and respect. The festival was not just about speeches and stories. It was also filled with interactive activities designed to foster collaboration and understanding. Lily Evans coordinated a series of workshops and collaborative games that encouraged residents to work together, regardless of their backgrounds. One popular activity was the Unity Mural, where attendees contributed to a large canvas by painting symbols and messages of hope, diversity, and togetherness. As the mural took shape, it became a beautiful representation of Maplewood's collective spirit. Another highlight was the cultural showcase, featuring performances from various cultural groups within the town. Traditional dances, music, and art displays captivated the audience, celebrating the rich tapestry of Maplewood's heritage. Throughout the evening, Tom Riley found himself drawn to different activities, his previously hardened demeanor softening as he interacted with his fellow townsfolk. Engaging in conversations and witnessing the genuine connections being formed, Tom began to reassess his own prejudices. As the night progressed, the stage came alive with musical performances that brought everyone together. Local bands and artists showcased their talents, blending genres and styles to create a harmonious symphony of sounds. Marcus watched with pride as a diverse lineup of performers took the stage, each contributing to the evening's vibrant energy. Music served as a universal language, breaking down barriers and uniting the audience in shared enjoyment. A special performance by Mr. Collins's band, the Maplewood Legends, elicited cheers and applause. Their rendition of a classic folk song echoed the themes of unity and resilience, resonating deeply with the crowd. As the final notes of the evening's performances faded into the night, the sense of community was palpable. The Maplewood Unity Festival had not only entertained but also inspired, leaving a lasting impression on all who attended. Towards the end of the evening, Sam Lee was invited to share a few words about her experiences and hopes for the future of Maplewood. Standing on the stage, she addressed the crowd with heartfelt sincerity. "Tonight has been incredible," Sam began, her voice filled with emotion. "Seeing everyone come together like this gives me hope for our future. We've shown that despite our differences, we can create something beautiful when we unite with love and understanding." She paused, her eyes scanning the crowd, meeting the gaze of familiar faces who had supported their journey. "I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for opening your hearts, and for believing in the power of community. Let's continue to support one another and build a Maplewood where everyone feels valued and respected." Her speech was met with a standing ovation, the crowd moved by her passion and conviction. Tears glistened in the eyes of many, reflecting the profound impact of her words. As the night drew to a close, an unexpected figure approached the stage, Tom Riley. The crowd fell silent, curious about his presence after the earlier confrontations. Tom stepped forward, his expression earnest and contrite. "I wanted to say something," he began, his voice wavering slightly. "Watching tonight, seeing how much unity we can achieve, I realized that my prejudices were holding me back. I was wrong about Marcus and about change. I want to be a part of this community in a positive way." A murmur of surprise rippled through the crowd, quickly turning into applause as Tom's sincerity became evident. He continued, "I'm committed to letting go of my biases and working alongside everyone to make Maplewood a place where we all thrive together." Marcus smiled, extending a hand of friendship to Tom. "Welcome to the future of Maplewood, Tom. We're glad to have you with us." The gesture was met with cheers, symbolizing a significant step towards healing and unity. Tom's endorsement served as a powerful example of personal transformation, inspiring others to follow suit. As the evening winds down, the atmosphere in Maplewood Park is electric with joy and optimism. The festival's success is evident in the laughter of children, the heartfelt conversations among adults, and the vibrant displays of culture and talent. Jack Thompson and Marcus Green stood together, watching the community celebrate their shared achievements. Sam and Lily joined them, their faces glowing with satisfaction and hope. "Look at this, Marcus," Jack said, gesturing towards the bustling park. "We did it. Maplewood is beginning to embrace the change we've been fighting for." Marcus nodded, a genuine smile spreading across his face. "It's amazing to see how far we've come. This is just the beginning, though. There's still work to be done. But tonight proves that we can make a difference." Sam leaned against her father's side, her eyes shining with pride. "We've built something special here, Dad, and I know we can keep growing and improving together." As the final fireworks lit up the night sky, the community gathered for one last group photo, a symbol of their unity and commitment to a brighter, more inclusive future. The Maplewood Unity Festival had not only brought joy and entertainment, but had also laid the groundwork for lasting change, marking a pivotal moment in the town's journey towards harmony and mutual respect.